Well, guys, we're here today with a 3-round mock draft, which is actually a 5-round mock draft, but the Kansas City Chiefs only have 3 selections in this mock draft, despite the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs have 5 selections in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft. So what is going on? Well, we have a very interesting mock draft from NFL.com by Chad Reuter in an article titled 5-Round 2025 NFL Mock Draft 5 Trade-Ups. Shake Up Round 1, Jets select Jackson Dart, because the Chiefs have traded up in Round 1 and moved from 31 to 24 to end up with Ariante Ursary. I'm not against Ariante Ursary. I'm not against Ariante Ursary in the first round. But here, the Chiefs signed tackle Jalen Moore in free agency, but they must add another big body outside to ensure Patrick Mahomes is sufficiently protected. Ursary's 6'6", 331-pound frame fits the team's prototype at left tackle. They send 3rd and 4th round picks to the Vikings, receiving this selection and a 6th rounder in return. Now, not against Ariante Ursary. Not against Ariante Ursary in the first round. I'm not against trading up to get Ariante Ursary. If you have to sacrifice a 3rd round and a 4th round pick, guys, I don't know if that's worth it. You have a left tackle this season. You have a right tackle this season. I don't know that Ariante Ursary is going to play any offensive guard for you. So who is Ariante Ursary? Well, PFF says this about him: Ursary brings an alluring size and length to the tackle position. For the NFL, he has good hands and explosive first step forward and quick footwork to be an impactful zone blocker, but is naturally high-waisted. His naturally high-waisted build impacts his leverage and may inhibit him from keeping NFL rushers in front of him. I don't think it will. I think that this is a starter at tackle. I think that this is eventually a starter at left tackle. I think that eventually this is a plus starter at left tackle. You would also be bringing home a Kansas City kid. So the measurables on Ariante Ursary: 6'6", 331, 9.5-inch hands, 33 1/8-inch arms, ran a 5.01 40-yard dash with a 1.75 10-yard split. That 5.01 40-yard dash is 91st percentile, had a 111-inch broad jump, 89th percentile. But that's kind of all the good measurables Ariante Ursary has. I think that he is a solid first-round type prospect. There are a lot of mock drafts where he ends up falling to the Chiefs in the second. I ran a mock draft where he fell to the Chiefs in the second. Someone called me out for copium in the comments section. But guys, I'm using a mock draft simulator. I am not just making it up. So suffice it to say that it is a realistic possibility that the Chiefs could end up with an Ariante Ursary in the second round. The thing that I think would keep that from happening the most would mean that the Chiefs take, say, a defensive tackle in the first round. Every pick prior to the Kansas City Chiefs picking in the second round, anyone who needs an offensive tackle is going to be talking about, well, we've got to get ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs because they're going to take Ariante Ursary in the second round if he's there. And I think that would be true. So, am I against Ariante Ursary in the first round? No, absolutely not. Am I against trading up for him? I guess not. If you are sacrificing a 3rd and a 4th round pick, it is going to make you a little bit light going forward in the draft. But if you've got an extra 3rd and 4th round pick, what are you using them on? If you think that Ariante Ursary is a top 15 talent who just happens to still be there at 24, then it would be justified to go up and get him, even if that is the cost. In round 2, pick 63, they have Tyleik Williams, 6'2" 7/8", basically 6'3", 334 pounds, 32-inch arm length, and 10.25-inch hands. Did Tyleik Williams put on a whole lot of weight before this season? because I do not remember him being a 330-pounder. Tyleik Williams was a compact and powerful interior defensive lineman who excels at holding the line of scrimmage. His lack of pass rush production makes nose tackle his best projection, likely as a day 2 selection. Notice here, he is ranked the 40th overall player by PFF, being selected 63rd. Is he the 40th overall player? I don't know that I would value him that high without going through an entire big board process. But I do think that he is a solid starter in the NFL on the defensive line. I think that he is somebody who would come in and be right there next to Chris Jones, week 1, snap 1. He is someone who would instantly upgrade this defense, would be a good pick in the second round. I think he's a little bit more of a value in the third round, but you're talking about the 63rd overall pick, so kind of you're talking about a third rounder anyway. So that would be 2 solid picks on each of the lines, 1 solid pick on each of the lines, 2 solid linemen total. And here's where things get interesting for this mock draft. Landon Jackson, 66 overall. Now, Landon Jackson, third round is where you want to be getting a Landon Jackson. Third round is where these kinds of guys that are like 90% tools and measurables, this is where they go. 6'6", 91st percentile, 264 pounds, 19th percentile, but I don't know how that's being skewed so much. 4.68 40-yard dash is 91st percentile. 40.5-inch vert is 99th percentile. 129-inch broad jump is 99th percentile. His 1.65 10-yard split, 72nd percentile. 82 3/4-inch arm or wingspan, 87th percentile. 7.13 3-cone drill is 82nd percentile. This is a guy who tore up the combine. Not necessarily all of the production you would hope to see at the college level. Ranked the 41st player overall by PFF. So the Chiefs in this mock draft, I don't know where they have Ursary ranked. I stopped too soon. Story of my life. PFF ranks 65 for Ariante Ursary. So you go from 65 to 40th and 41st in the second and third rounds, respectively. And Jackson, they say of him, Jackson is a fundamentally sound player with alluring length and surprising cornering ability for a player of his size. His overall pass rush win rate has been low throughout his career, which presents him as a high-floor, versatile defensive end who can be a solid starter for odd or even fronts. I think it's a little bit worse than that. I think that he has all of these measurables, but he did not flash any of them at the college level, at least hardly consistently at all. And they have him listed at 280 pounds in the PFF blurb for him. If he is 280 pounds, I think he's in the 260s though. But if he was 280 running a 4.68 40-yard dash, that would be incredible. He would be a second rounder for sure. This draft overall would be a little concerning because you're trading away a third and a fourth in order to get Ariante Ursary. But if you take a step back and you really look at it, you have a tackle who could be a long-term starter. You have a D tackle who is an immediate starter. And guys, Landon Jackson might have what it takes to start opposite George Karlaftis. So if you were to get these 3 players in the first 3 rounds and only be left with those 3 seventh rounders, it might be worth it. It might be something that you could pull off because you're getting 3 guys who are going to be on the field. You're getting rebuilt along that defensive line in just 2 selections there. And you're adding some upside at the offensive tackle position. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. So I hope to have you back for the next one.